Hello all and welcome to RaceOnOz ACC PC League for round one of season 2022, season one. We are at a fine and sunny spa sitting at the top of the hill at Radion, just watching cars feed out of pit lane and feed up the hill through Rooz over Radion. This is a great spot to watch some of the action as we just go over some of the details for this season. It's promising to be an absolute cracker. With a step up for RaceOnOz, we've moved this championship completely over to SimGrid. So thank you to SimGrid and Coach Dave for your support getting this up and running. We've increased the numbers. We've got just under 50 sign-ups for this season, which is absolutely brilliant. And we've got really good numbers for the first race. There's been a few changes in the background heading into this season. The rule book has been consolidated for Rooz and a few specific changes for ACC and this league. The PC and the console league have combined forces with the admin side of things, and we've got a new stewarding system amongst the two leagues where the moderators are stepping back and having more of a managerial role with the stewarding and not necessarily making the decisions themselves. And they've got a panel of trusted drivers that will be looking after the stewarding. And from console, there's Slambo, Vic, Chan and Jamie. So the main driving protagonists from that league. And from PC, we've got Peter Wall, Matt Frost and Andy O'Hara doing the stewarding. Hopefully they won't be too busy after this round, but with the numbers that we've got and the track that it is, I am suspecting we'll have some action, that's for sure. Now, as we have a look back on the previous year, we'll have a look at the previous winners, and the overall winner for last season was Lucas Dowd. He had an absolute stellar performance. The races that he was in, make note that he did miss a few. He absolutely dominated. With only of the races that he was in, there was only two other winners, and it's a great performance from him. Silver class was won by Peter Wall, and the AM class was won by Rob Penfold. So as we look back on last season, we will have a look at the highlights package for that previous season. So bear with me as I pull that up. And thank you to James Reed for putting that package together. Great highlights from last season as we get ready to create our own for 2022 Season 1. Not far away from qualifying getting underway. As we will go trackside. We've got Paulie in the pits here at the moment. As we just make our way through. Some of the cars on this grid already are looking absolutely brilliant. This is one of the first times I've run custom liveries, and it's really brought out the creative side with a lot of these drivers, which is really good to see. As we just wait for the timer to finish and we get underway for qualifying. We're just watching Sasana at the moment, finishing off his lap. As we just bring up the timing so far from the practice session, bit of a form guide as we come into this season. Paul Russell, the fastest time so far with a 2:18.1. It wasn't that long ago that we were at Spa for a round, and that round was taken out by Bruno Gallo, who was a absolutely commanding drive from him. As we just tick over. And apologies as I just get into position in the commentary box. As the cars just file out for the start of qualifying, we'll just have a quick look at the track map. As apologies there. Sorry, apologies there for the technical dramas, trying to get these cameras worked out. As we have a look at the track map for Spa, one of the most famous circuits in the world. 20 corners, a couple of long straights, and some of the most famous corners in motorsport. Eau Rouge, Raidillon, Pouin, Stavelot, Blanchimont, and then to finish off the lap with the chicane. This is a track that always brings plenty of action, and I cannot wait for this to get underway, as first few cars will just be setting off on their flying lap. 7-kilometre circuit, famous for the Spa 24-hour and the Belgian Formula One Grand Prix. This particular section of track, Eau Rouge and Raidillon, is a lot of controversy through here, with very high-profile accidents in multiple different forms of motorsport, and they've changed this layout for these corners, so it'll be interesting to see when that gets introduced to ACC. I'm looking forward to seeing that, as we will head over to the live action now, as we are on with Mitchell Weston in the McLaren. So he was in the Ferrari last season, he's jumped in the McLaren now, so it'll be good to see how he goes. As we have quite a few new runners in the championship. Welcome to those that have joined RaceOnOz. And Gutierrez is one of those. And he's managed to find his way up towards the top here in the McLaren, as the flying laps begin to start filtering through, with a great first up lap from Terry Rayton. So welcome back. Welcome back, Terry, and he's laying down some good numbers. Oh, this is a great looking livery here by Nando. As I said earlier, custom liveries has brought out the creative side in a lot of drivers. I do know that some have spent a hell of a lot of time getting their livery sorted out. And this one here from Nando looks special. Just ahead of him is Simon French. In silver class. Phil Rowden, so welcome back. It's good to see you on the grid. Another driver has chosen the McLaren. We've got Adrian Rice in the Honda. Yet to set a flying lap. Neil Fakeney's changed from the Ferrari to the Aston Martin for this season. Be interesting to see how he goes in silver class. We've got Matthew Marsh, Laundry House Racing, to see his performances. So he's in silver class as well, and he's in the Porsche. We've got Wally Masterson, Stu Parsons. Welcome to RaceOnOz and welcome to the PC League. So this is his first outing. Big field. So we just have a quick look at the top. So Rayton is still at the top, 218 flat, followed by Paul Russell. And the driver that was very dominant the last time out here, Bruno Gallo, He's made the change to the Lamborghini and he's so far not showing on that table. So just over 6 minutes left. So Neil Krempen here, another new driver. So welcome to RaceOnOz. Good luck tonight. Glenn Stimson spent last season in the Audi, and here he is in the Nissan GTR. It's good to see these guys change up, jump in some different cars. Michael Easter in the Bentley. So he's good performance so far. And Peter Wall, great looking Golf livery on that Aston. Just ahead of him is Kennedy, also known as K-Man, and the Wild Turkey Audi. Great looking livery this. Yes, Adman, it is a big welcome to Stu and Tom Parsons. Good luck tonight, lads. Welcome to the league. This is a big field, so you're going to have your work cut out. Don't be overwhelmed, that's for sure. And Joey Gutierrez, Hold My Beer Racing. So welcome to the league, and go well tonight. Just ahead of him is, oh, that's Matt Frost. We'll see enough of him tonight. I was trying to get to Ray Smith. He's made the jump from console to PC. Very popular driver on console. Looking forward to seeing how he goes tonight. A wonderful livery he's made. And for the Bentley. Good luck, Haggis. Got my fingers crossed you can have a day out, or a night out, sorry. As times aren't changing too much at the top of the order. As there we see Bruno Gallo in 6, so he got pole last time out with a 2:17.7. So the conditions are optimal. The track grip should be pretty high, so I'm expecting that these times will come down. So we just follow Terry Rayton around, so we will go on board with him for this lap. There we go, into the 217s. Great lap from Rayton. He's got another chance here. He's really pushing it here, so Paul Russell, almost 4/10 behind. Off in the background, we can see Haggis, that orange Bentley. As the time counts down. Oh, and he's off. That's it for Rayton there. So just try and find the front of the field. That's Paul Russell. Just have a quick look at how he's going on this lap. So he's 10th down. He probably doesn't have enough to try and bridge this gap. A lot of the other guys have crossed the line already. Oh, and that's it. That's a big lose. That's a massive incident. Paul Russell, that's it for him. So a few mistakes creeping in at the end of this practice session, this qualifying session. As a lot of these guys have finished it up, trying to find... That'll be it, I suspect. So Terry Rayton takes pole with a 2:17.9, the only car to get into the 17s. I'm very surprised by that. Would have had money on some of these guys getting well into the 17s, but that is the end of the session. As you can see, it is a big field. As we have a look through here, right with pole from Russell, Weston, Frost and Gallo rounding out the top 5. Ingersoll is the lead driver in the silver class. As we go through, we've got Rowden, the lead driver in the AM class. Big field, 38 cars. And that is going to be a great start. Yeah, it's very true there, Rowdy. Is Bruno Gallo is still working out this Lamborghini. As we just count down the time through to the grid. We'll just have a moment, and I will be back with you shortly. And welcome back as we just come to the final stages of the formation lap. Just go over a couple of notes for this race. So, new championship, doing things slightly different. Thank you to the support of SimGrid for this championship. And we are running a Pro Class Championship, a Silver Class Championship, an AM Class Championship, and the top 10 from each class scores points each round. And then we are also running an overall championship as well, where the top 25 drivers score points. And there is a drop round in this championship as well. So the weather within the championship, it is variable, so anything could happen in this race. There is always a chance of rain, partly thank you to the Kunos weather system. So in this hour race, anything could happen as the cars cross the Grand Prix start line, as we just make our way around turn 1, La Source, and make their way through to the start line. Huge grid here, 38 cars, and this is going to be absolutely awesome on the run down to Rooz. There's one car in pits already.
Green light.
And off we go. We've got the green light. And that is Rayton takes the lead. As so far we've got clean running. And it is, there's no yellow flag, so we've got through the start of the first lap without any dramas, as we've got Paulie trying to go around the outside, and there is contact. And here we go, it's all going on behind. Not too sure who was involved in that one, but there's been some drama. The end of the Camel Straight into Lacombe. It's still going on further back here. It's not too many. 2 and 3 wide. Plenty of action at the start of this first lap. These guys are still trying to form up into position. That is Bruno Gallo. I'm just wondering if Bruno Gallo is trying to find another car on the grid to redress position. As we just make our way back to the front of the field. It's a bit of a gap here to these guys now. So Terry Rayton's been able to make a bit of a gap on Paul Russell. And that's Mitchell Weston back to third. So he'll be looking to make amends for the last time out here. He was in a pretty strong position and got a drive-through penalty within the last couple of minutes of the race. As we just come to end the start of lap 1. As Terry Rayton crosses the line. Paul Russell less than a second behind. They've got Mitchell Weston less than a second behind them as well. Bringing up the rear is Ron Quillo. And that is a car. That's Coco stopped there at the last turn. So there's been some dramas there at the end of that first lap. That is Gallo's got big damage, I suspect. As we just make it up through the back of the field here. There's a big yellow flag. Who's that? That is Glenn Stimson, who's off at Radion. Suspect there'll be big damage there. There's another car stopped off, I think. They've got back going again now. And that is Stu Parsons going off at Lacombe. And that's Matt Frost down to 30th position. Knew we were going to be on him a bit in this race, but didn't suspect he'd be back down here. Started in 4th, so get a moment. We'll have a look at the replay of that first lap. But I suspect he might have been caught up in those dramas. As Bruno Gallo, such a dominant performance last time out here. He's still in the pit, so he's got major damage. And here is Haggis trying to make positions on Matt Williams, 25th and 26th. So Haggis has actually lost the position from the start of this one. Matt Williams has actually made up 5 positions here. We've got more yellow flags around the circuit here, as we've got Wally Masterson and Kennedy Runau coming up to the chicane. So just finish lap 2. It's hard to think it's only 2 laps into this. And here we've got Haycock, Fake Knee and Wolf. Just watch them go up the top of the hill. A little bit of curb there for Neil Fake Knee. Haycock could have a run on here. It's just ahead of them. We've got Wolf and Rowden. And it looks as though that is a change of positions ahead. Or can he hold it? He's gone round. Or he's been able to... He's off the racing line. He's just ahead of these guys. Good battle going on between Rice, Wall and Sassana. So Rice has got the move done. So he's up into 11th. We'll just try and make our way to the front of the field. So Roland Schmidt here in 7th place at the moment. Started in 10th, so he's made good progress. Just ahead of him is Reed. So Reed started in 8th. He's up to 6th. So the dramas have gone ahead of these guys. Been able to make up a few positions. Mironinko's up 1 as Michael Easter is looking to make a move on Wheezy Weston. Just calling him by his console name, so apologies for that. Mitchell Weston, I should say. So good start from these guys. But the gap ahead of them is 2 seconds up the road to Paul Russell. And Rayton's pulled a similar gap ahead of them. Alright, so that lap 1 drama from the chat telling us that Gallo has missed his braking marker and hit Frost. So very unfortunate start to this one. And I think Gallo got cleaned up after that as well. So that's where that damage has come from. And it's very unfortunate for Frost. Just have a look at the front of the field. Terry Rayton last lap was 2:18.5, so he's got plenty of pace. And and a 2:18.9 for Paul Russell. So it's hard to catch up quickly as we've got Dominiak has gone round here. So where's he had that big moment? He's caught that outside curb. And that is Simon French just behind him. There's plenty of action in this one. Paul McElhenney in the Golf livery on the McLaren. So here's Frost. So he's made some progress. He's in 28th at the moment. Such a big field, 38 cars. It's going to be hard to pass some of these guys. He's got plenty of pace on them. He's just going to be patient for an opportunity. He's got Haggis in front of him. He's done plenty of sim racing, but it's his first foray into sim racing on PC. It's very popular in the console league. As we've got another car off in front of these guys. That's car 97. Going through Blanchimont. He's come unstuck. And I think that is Wally Masterson. As this battle continues, plenty of action here. Where's Frost going to get this done? Looking forward to Haggis, who's got Max Gassett ahead of him, and Matt Williams. Matt Williams just runs wide. Is Max Gassett going to be able to make a move on him here? I'm not sure. As we've got another yellow flag. That is Dominiak again. So been some action for him here. I think he's been tied up with Stu Parsons, so there's not a lot of damage. And that's George Corey. Big damage in the front of that McLaren. Just go back to this battle here. Here's Max Gassett. Started at the rear of the field. He was serving a sanction, so that's been cleared now. He's made good progress up into 24th with all the dramas that have gone on behind him. As we are 12 minutes into this race, and it's been action aplenty so far. So as Frost can get up the inside, he's going to get there before Blanchimont. That's well done. Great move by Frost. I have a feeling Haggis might have rolled out of that one and let him go. As Max pulls out, as Matt Williams is just holding this guy. Oh, there's a tap there. He holds onto it. And Max gets by on him there. So this is a bit hairy for Frost behind. He's lucky not to get turned around then either. Was Matt Williams. Oh, and he's gone round. His Frost has hit him. Oh, at RaceOnOz. That's always the drama when you're back this far. Frost, big contact at the top of RaceOnOz. Williams is just going around, did it all on his own. And that's big damage. And as suspected, Frost is going to get that damage sorted out sooner rather than later. And that is Wally Masterson. Oh, what an unfortunate night for Frost. Adman, I do not think that I'll have any voice left at the end of this one to be breaking out in a song if we get 25 likes. So please do get the likes going. Still got plenty of action to go in this one as we just make our way back towards the front of the field. So here's Kennedy Roo now, I think he's had some dramas somewhere as well. Can't quite tell if he's got any damage here, and he's got... So Max Gassett's moving his way back up the field. So Kennedy started towards the back of the field actually. I'll get that for you in a second. So he started in 27th, so he's made up 5 spots, but he's lost a lot of ground very quickly. So I wonder if he's gone around somewhere as well. Ahead of these guys is Rowden and Krempen. So welcome to these guys. It's a nice little battle brewing here for 20th place. As Krempen started in 29th. He's got more dramas just behind these two actually. As that is Simon French, who's just going straight forward. So I just wonder if he's been cleaned up by someone. I might have to have a stream just to watch the replay of this race, because there's been a hell of a lot going on. Just trying to catch up with some of this and where some of these positions are, as it looks like Rowden, can he get the job done here? Oh, he's run a bit wide. He's left the door open. Krempen keeps that position going. So this battle continues between these two. Great driving from both these guys. Good bit of racecraft. Just make our way further to the front. So we have a look at Neil Fakeney in the Aston Martin. I don't think he'll be very happy with his qualifying there. So started in 23rd, he's up to 18th. So made some progress forward. It's got Wally Masterson just ahead of him, and there's Stephen Haycock trying to make a move around the outside on Marsh, and they make contact. That's Stephen Haycock gone round. Oh, he's going to have more contacts. This is really tough with this many cars, so he's going to reverse out and get out of the way of oncoming traffic. So Marsh stays in 16th, and he'll have some damage with that one. As I think not too sure which car that was leaving pit lane. I think that was Matt Williams actually. So he's got Wally Masterson just behind him. Just have a quick look at the front of the field. Rayton in first, Russell second, Weston maintaining that third position from Easter. So just ahead of these guys, Peter Wall. So he started in 13th, so some of these dramas he's moved backwards. Ahead of him, Andreas Wolff. Welcome to RaceOnOz, Wolf. So, Joey Gutierrez in 13th is the highest placed M-class driver. He started 19th, he's up to 13th, so he's made good progress as well. Just with the dramas that have happened. Sasana in 12th, A. Rice in 11th, and D-Man. It's a very nice looking livery on this Bentley actually, I quite like that. White, grey and black. And Nando in 9th. It's a great livery on that there. So, Nando started 11th. So finally made it up towards the top end of the field as Gabriel Ingersoll. So, welcome to Rooz. Welcome to this season. As that is Stephen Haycock leaving pit lane. So he's got his pit stop out of the way. So the requirements for this race, pit stop wise, is 1 pit stop for tyres. You can't pit on the first or the last lap. As we continue up to the front of the field, Roland Schmidt. So he has made his way up to 7th from 10th position. So welcome back to the championship, Roltz. It's good to have you here. He's working pretty hard. He's got a second half gap behind him and a second half gap in front of him. And we've got James Reed. So he's made really good progress from his start. It's up into 6th. Mironenko in 7th. So the last lap there from Reed wasn't great, 2:20.2. With Mironenko 2:19.7. Easter 2:19.3 and Mitchell Weston a 2:19.2. So this gap is very tight. It's one of the battles to watch here. Finally made my way back into the top 3 here. This battle's continuing on as Rayton continues to set the pace at the front of the field. The 2:19 flat. He's been able to build that gap on Paul Russell. These guys are really pushing it through. Radion. This is good to see. Battle's going to be hot all the way to the end, I suspect. Probably about 8 minutes away from these front guys pitting. Start seeing if a bit of strategy comes into play. And a shout out to Adman. Happy 50th, mate. I hope you are celebrating at will with a couple of bottles of bubbles. It's a Monday night though, so just be responsible. Thanks, mate. So we'll just go back with Ace and we'll have a quick look at this battle from his point of view. this is heating right up now. So Wheezy just with a bit of a moment. He's given Easter a sniff here. As in the background, we've got Reed and Mironenko closed right up as well. Easter is the closest he's been for quite a while here. Oh, he's taking a lot of curb there. He's going to look up the inside. He's not quite there. There's the battle behind them. Mironenko and Reed heats up as well. Schmidt's not that far behind. Oh, Wheezy with a bit of a block. Can Easter get up the inside? It's not close enough. So that McLaren's got some top line speed here. Was suspecting that Bentley was going to be able to cut him up the inside, and he's got the job done. That pull on is, and not quite. He's got it this side by side as Weston just runs wide, and that was it for that battle. Just ahead of them is Avendi. And just sidesteps him, lets him go. It's well done from him. So just behind as Reed continues on. He's just lost a bit of ground to Mironenko on this lap. And Ingersoll's bringing he's bringing himself into this battle as well as he's catching up to Smid. And so just check these gaps at the end of this lap as it's closing up very nicely at the front of the field as Rayton and Russell just skip away off into the distance. Ingersoll with the quickest lap out of these guys in that last lap, so battle's heating up. Last spot on the podium, it's definitely not over. Yeah, Weston's just struggling with a bit of pace at the moment. He's just losing out to Easter. There's the pace at the front of the field. It's pretty hot by Rayton. 2:19.1. 6/10 off his quickest. Paulie 2:19.3. Same again. Half a second off his quickest. And this battle rages on behind him. As Schmidt is just falling back towards Ingersoll here. As it's a car off. I think that's car 973 is about to disappear. I think there was one that did just then. It's unfortunate for him. I believe that was Hamid Avendi who's disappeared. Baptism of fire for him as Paul Russell pits. Here we go, so that's the start of the pitters. Interesting to see where he comes out because I reckon there'll be a bit of traffic in one of these spots. Look in here, come out amongst these guys, you'll have a bit of drama. As that's Max Gassett and Kennedy Runau in a fierce battle for 20th position. So Max managed to get by him. As Reed's got some pace in the toe from Mironenko, so we'll just follow him for this lap, see if he can get this done. Oh, Mironenko runs wide. Wonder if that'd be a track cut for him. Pretty careful through a couple of corners on this track, so the obvious one is Radion. But there's a couple others you got to be mindful of track limits, and this is one of them. It's 0.5 of a second this gap. It's just fluctuating slightly throughout the lap, so as Reed is just struggling to find that little bit of pace to be able to get beside Mironenko. As you saw throughout this lap, Mironenko is just struggling in a few spots. Reed with a bit of curb through Blanchimont. Got to be careful of that. Don't want to unsettle the car too much through there. As Rayton comes in, he's pitted. Oh, they almost tagged halfway through the race, and Reed almost got the back of Mironenko there. As Reed continues on, takes the lead of the race. So with such a big pit lane and such a big lap around here, the overcut could work quite well for Reed. I suspect he will be thinking that as well. So just take that moment for the tyres to normalise after the pit stop. So you can make pace if you got get a decent lap in here. He'll be pushing hard. So it'll be interesting to see if he does pit in this one. So as we just have a quick look through the order. And Paul Russell. So Paul Russell came out in 23rd position. So there'll be a bit of traffic there, I suspect. And he's car 6, so he's just coming up to Blanchimont at the moment. Plenty of cars are pitting at the moment. So halfway through the race, midpoint, even up your tyre strategy, have as much grip as possible, evenly spread out over the race, and that's what's happened here. So Rayton is out. Where is Russell? So Russell's just coming up to Eau Rouge at the moment. As Rayton's has extended that gap. We'll wait to see what. There's quite a few cars just exiting pits here now. So just behind here. That is, so Weston's lost a couple of positions here. Weston has come out behind Schmid, so I wonder if he had some damage he had to fix, but it's unfortunate for Weston. So he's lost a couple of positions out of the pit stops there. So Matt Williams has made his pit stop. He's out of position here, so he's got Crimpin ahead of him. What's going on back here? Is there a slow car there? I think that's Max Gassett, and he's got Matt Frost a couple of laps down. So that's Max Gassett. He hasn't made his pit stop yet. Just wondering if he's had some dramas on this particular lap. As we are following Rayton, so he's the first of the pit stoppers. And the others are heading in now, so it's been some dramas somewhere on that lap there for Max Gassett, I suspect. We've got Schmidt and Weston, so can Roland hold him off here? Seems like the McLaren's got pace on the Bentley. Oh, as Weston comes deep. Oh, the Roland's run very, very deep. It's up cutting the chicane. He's given the position to Weston. He ran way, way too deep into the chicane. Hamid, sorry to hear that. Your disconnection dramas. Hopefully you can get that sorted and get back out on track at some point. As the rest of the pit stoppers, it's almost the majority of the field there. So it's a 7-second gap between Russell and Rayton. Gap back to Easter. So Easter's done well out of that pit stop cycle. Same with Mironenko as well. And Weston's the one who's fallen back, so he's lost a couple of positions here. His car 23's got some dramas there. That's coming out of Blanchimont, and that's Kennedy. As Marsh heads into pit lane. Just have a look at the map. The field's quite spread out now. Matt Williams has fallen backwards after his very unfortunate spin at Radion that Frost had nowhere to go. As Reed comes into the pit, so be interesting to see how this pit strategy has worked. Has he been able to make a gap on him here? Has he been able to make up a couple of positions? He needed to make time on Mironenko, as that's Paul Russell who's gone by then as Reed comes out of pit lane. Gets up to speed as quick as he can, and that is Easter and Mironenko, so it's really tight. He hasn't fallen away, but he's lost some time. Not a big loss to Mironenko, but he has lost some time. As Weston will be disappointed himself with what's going on. Oh, he's just gone round. As I'm talking about that, he'll be even more disappointed now. Oh no, Weston just got up on that curb and he's loosened it up and he's gone round. And who's that that's gone? That is Rice. Adrian Rice has gone round at Radion. Not too sure if there's much damage on that car, but I suspect there will be. Yes, there is. You can see the bonnet flapping. It's unfortunate for him. Matthew Marsh. So, where did Marsh start? He started back in 22nd, so he's up 4 positions. I think he's been tied up with some of the dramas, because I would have thought he might have made up a few more positions after the issues that have happened around the circuit. Just ahead of him is Neil Fakeney. As that ahead of him, that is Andreas Wolf and Joey Gutierrez in a battle. So both these guys in matching liveries here. Very nice looking liveries for Hold My Beer Racing. So they're getting right into the spirit of this. th and 16th positions for these two. So Gutierrez in AM class started in 19th. Andreas Wolf in silver started 21st. So Gutierrez, the lead driver in AM class. These guys both very, very nice looking McLarens. And just ahead of them is Peter Wall. So he's just lost a position to D-Man. And D-Man's got Sassana ahead of him. So Sassana's coming second in silver class. With Gabriel Ingersoll a couple positions ahead as Weston, his moment, is still making his way back around the circuit. See the damage in the front of that. He's got Ingersoll just behind him. And plenty of pressure on as they both run wide. This car 911's gone round. Who is? Oh, there was someone off who's in the grass there. That was that's George Corey. So he's been in the wars in this race. I guess continuing on, he's got Krempen just behind him, in fact. So there's been a change of positions in this lap between those two as well. As Paul McElhinney, Golf Racing livery with Max Gassett not far behind. So Max Gassett's lost a couple of positions in all of this. So we've missed where that drama has come from. So D's man is caught up to Sassana here. Can he get a run on him? Down the Kemmel Straight. He's not close enough. As behind these two, Wall is coming under pressure from Gutierrez. Oh, D's man just runs wide. So Weston has lost that position to Ingersoll and is continuing on. He'll have to go to the end. Just 17 minutes left in this one. He's going to have to try and keep that up. Keep going without getting that damage fixed. You'll lose a ton of positions. Just try and make note of these gaps, and the gaps to the drivers behind. To say Gutierrez is running wide then. It's the last car to pit there. Rowden is in the pits at the moment. Terry Rayton goes through and takes over the lead of the race. These guys are lapping pretty well here. 220.6, 220.4. Behind them, it's the 220.1. So it's good pace by these guys. The other just ahead of them, so Bruno Gallo, after his dramas at the start of this race, was at the back of the field. He's been able to make his way up to 10th, so it's been a great performance from him. He's definitely getting used to this Lamborghini. He's pushing hard. See that from the attitude of the car. He's only lapping a couple of tenths quicker than Nando ahead of him. But with damage to Western ahead of these guys, could be some positions up for grabs. Rowden, 30-second stop-go penalty. Speeding in pit lane. Baptism of fire again as you start off another season. So Stephen Haycock, the green Bentley, started in 16th, he's in 18th at the moment. He's had a troubled race. Hatfield, haven't seen much from Hatfield tonight actually. So, no wonder he's gained 14 positions, starting 31st. He's just got the job done. And then Marsh ahead of these guys. He's made up a few positions from his starting point. Neil Fakeney, haven't seen a lot of him tonight as this battle continues on. Deesman hasn't got close enough to Sassana. Ingersoll comes up on the back of Parsons. Parsons just sidesteps, lets these guys go. He's run to the inside of Lacombe and comes back on. He's going to have... he's pulled over and let Rice go, and that was for position. It's very sportsmanlike of him. Adman, I hope you have a chat with your brother about letting cars on the same lap go by. Actually, to his credit, I think Parsons here, Tom Parsons that is, has got a fair bit of damage at the back of his car, so I just wonder if he's had dramas at Radion, catches everyone out. I don't think there's anyone on this grid who hasn't been caught out at Radion at some point. As we just come to this battle between Reed and Marinenko, as Reed gets the job done around the inside of Blanchimont. Great pass. Well done, Reed. That's very good. Just watch this, see if Marinenko can come back at him in any way. It's a bit of lap traffic as the other Parsons gets out of the way of these guys. So he's got blue flags. He's done that well. No credit to the Parsons boys. Oh, that was a bit sloppy by Reed on the entry to Rooz. Yeah, he just grabbed a little bit too much curb there. It's unsettled them. As Reed is making up tons of ground on Easter here. So just have a look at Easter. Has he got any damage anywhere? The car looks pretty well right. Reed will have slightly better tyres, but it would only be a couple of laps, so it wouldn't make that much of a difference. So this is the battle for third place here. So Easter started 7th, Reed started 8th, Marinenko started in 6th, so as this battle tightens up, "10 minutes left in this race." He's going to take the final step on the podium. Oh, Reed's got great pace here. And he's going to get up the inside of him at the chicane. He gets the job done. So Reed's coming on very strongly at the end of this race and takes the podium position. It's a big gap ahead of these guys to Paul Russell and Rayton. Rayton's been very, very solid in this race. Same with Paul Russell. The two of them have been the standout performers, kept themselves out of trouble, just got the job done. So can Reed make a bit of a gap and get comfortable over Easter? Ferrari's got good pace. We saw that from Bruno Gallo at the last time here. Yeah, Reedy does love a good dive bomb, but no, he's done those moves are done very, very well. So full credit to Reed. So we just have a look through. It's a couple of the other standout performers in this race is Ingersoll there, the highest placed silver class driver, and Joey Gutierrez, who's just fallen off of wall quite substantially there. So the other McLaren is dropped off even further. So we've Roudis, there does seem to be a big difference in the tyre grip here, but there wasn't that many laps after that Reed did his pit stop, so I couldn't imagine that the difference in tyre grip between these guys would be substantial. Just towards the end of the race, where Easter and Marinenko have pitted on the same lap and got pretty similar pace at this point. And Reed just seems to be checking out a little bit here. So Reed with the 2:19.1. Paul Russell with a 2:22. So he's lost 3 or 4 seconds on this lap there, Russell. So I hope that wasn't caused by some lap traffic on that. So that's Matt Williams making his way through as Reed. So 5 second gap Has Russell got damage? That would be very unfortunate after the race that he's had. To then get damage at the end of the race and maybe get tied up with some lap traffic. It's part of racing though, it does happen. Here is Terry Rayton. It's a very commanding position here. 6 minutes left and he's... I wouldn't say he's done it easy. There's any way he could have an easy race around Spa. But he's in a very comfortable position, showing plenty of pace. And ahead of him is Kennedy Runau, 26th position. He's had some dramas in this race. Not as many as this man, Matt Frost. He'd be pretty disappointed with how things have gone in this one. Absolutely innocent bystander in 2 incidents in this race. And just ahead of him, here is that second Hold My Beer Racing McLaren. So he was right up there. He was right up in 15th position, and he's dropped to 10 position. So not sure what's happened to him. He's got Frost chasing him down. Wally Masterson again is another car that was tied up in some of these dramas early on. And George Curry ahead of him. And Coco in the black Ferrari. Not sure. That was started 32nd. He's up to 23rd. So solid performance. Paul McElhinney started 33rd, up into 22nd, and Max Gassett's just ahead of him. So Max started at the rear of the field, 38th position. He's up into 21st, so it's a good performance from him. Kept out of the dramas, and sometimes it's better if you're that far back to start from the back of the field, obviously. Although he's got damage on that side of that car and on the rear, so he's got some war wounds. Could just be struggling a bit. As McElhinney will be having a look at putting some pressure on him here. With a couple of laps left. So we just move our way closer to the front of the field. There's a couple of battles here I wanted to have a look at. This is one of them. So Diesman's managed to get through on Sassana, and Peter Wall's not far behind. Ahead of these guys, we've got Bruno Gallo's hunting down Nando, and this battle will be getting pretty close towards the end of this one. So Reed managed to check out from Easter, like second and a half. As Bruno's got plenty of pace towards the end of this one. Oh, he's going to try and get the nose up there. Oh, he's wasn't quite up far enough. There was slight contact there, but they've both continued on. One more lap to go after this one. So we just have a quick look at... So I'm not too sure Bruno's going to be close enough now to have another go at Nando. Not sure if Marinenko is going to be close enough to Easter either. I suspect there will be a chance for that battle to change before the end of this one. So Frost was... Frost has had another moment here, I think. I think Frost is... He has too. I missed that one. I thought he was a bit further up. So we have a quick look at this battle here. We'll just watch...
Alright, man. The leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
Just watched how these two go through. Radion and down Camel Straight. And towards Lacoon. So can Paul McElhenney get around Max Gassett? Oh, he's just run a bit wide. There's always the danger when you're out the outside. Oh, and he's gonna... Oh, he's in the fence. Oh, that was always an issue. When you're on the outside, you're in the marbles, you grab a bit of curb, and it's just flicked him to the outside into the fence. It's a very unfortunate way to finish the race after a tough day. Max Gassett continues on. Haggis up into 19th. Good race from him. Stephen Haycock has been solid. Same with Peter Hatfield. Same with Marsh. Neil Fakeney. I have a feeling he might be a little bit disappointed with 15th, but you know, he started a bit further back. Gutierrez, highest place AM driver. Peter Wall continuing on hard. Same with Susana Diesman as Rice. And we just watched the back end of this battle here between Bruno and Nando. Can Nando get close enough to have a go at Nando at the chicane? I think it'll be his best bet. As we just catch up to Terry Rayton coming up to the chicane. Just sidestepping his way around some lap traffic. And that is it. Well done, Terry. Welcome back. Great win. There's a few dramas going on behind here as we've got Paul Russell coming through in second place. Solid performance from him. And Reed rounds out the podium. With Easter and Mironenko ran out the top 5. Will Schmidt just running a bit wide at the chicane. Gabriel Ingersoll, great performance from him as... Oh, Bruno's not close enough. Nano will take 9th position. Gallo in 10th. There's a bit of... that was Paulie trying to do donuts. So very well done there, Paulie. You have to work on that, mate. As we just... What could have been for this guy? What could have been? Matt Frost. Very disappointing night. Great looking livery though. Just watch these last few guys come through to finish off their laps. That's Hatfield 17th, Haycock in 18th. Ray Smith, aka Haggis, coming through in 19th. Great performance from him. First race in the PC League. It's been very solid. And Neil Crampon in 20th position. Max Gassett, quite a few scratches on that Lexus, but he's coming through 21st. Coco just behind, coming through 22nd. Wally Masterson. Frost will be going straight for the free adjuster specs. Ron Quillo, what could have been, was much further up the field, had some dramas. And here's Paul Macalini after that. Drama finishes in 25th. As I just do a bit of my own admin work. All I can say after that one is plenty of action. And it'll be spending a bit of time looking back through the replay of this one. But plenty of action for the next round as we finish up for the night. Well done, Terry Rayton. Commanding performance. And we look forward to doing this again next Monday night. So join me, JJ, as part of the RaceOnOz ACC Productions. Look forward to it. Thank you. Good night.